All right, let's take a look at the ongoings in Norman, Oklahoma. We, of course, when the headline is the quarterbacks, but the quarterbacks deliver the narratives, it's impossible not to start there. Jackson Arnold goes back into the stadium where he was the starter, and then he was benched, and then he had to get back in there, and then his play caller changed, and his offensive coordinator changed, and he needed a fresh start. So here he is, 3-0 as a starter, 8 touchdowns to 0 turnovers so far through 3 games with Hugh Freeze's Tigers. And of course, he's going up against Moneyline Mateer, who I saw is already here in the tailgate hanging out. We always appreciate it. Moneyline Mateer, we do need you on Thursday. Make sure you can come here. But if you want to drop your tips, now is definitely a good opportunity for that as well. DK, when you're considering the mindset and the skill set of these two quarterbacks, what do you think is going to be some of the big impacts that you're looking for in this matchup?
So I think Jackson Arnold's stats are a little bit misleading. I mean, they look really good on paper, but they have not really excelled in the pass game yet, considering the weapons that they've got and Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton. That to me, and I don't picture Jackson Arnold rushing for over 100 against his old team either. R. Mason Thomas being out for the first half for Oklahoma is something to keep an eye on, but I think it's going to be a long day for Jackson Arnold. I think Brent Venables, I think this team, I think they're going to be ready for him. And then Mateer, who, by the way, has a lot of fans among the female colleagues of ours at the CBS Sports HQ office. They have taken notice of his incredible playmaking ability.
Sexist.
Yeah, that's why I said they're really impressed with his play. He has delivered. I was really impressed with Oklahoma. I thought it was a kind of a letdown game, potential like flat start. They came out from start to finish and dominated at Temple in a sleepy environment. Their defense might be one of the best in the SEC. Home field, I think it's going to be rocking. I just feel like this is going to be a long day for Jackson Arnold and Auburn.
I tend to agree. I think one of the matchups here to watch that you got to be really jacked up is Jeremiah Wright, the guard for Auburn, against what's probably the best interior players in the country. Ooh. Certainly the SEC, right? I mean, you get David Stone, you get Jackson, you get Dominic Williams, who Oklahoma paid up for huge last year, and he really didn't play all that well for them last year. And this year he's come on and played like it's his NFL money year, not just his transfer portal money year. Like that, Auburn has been so good on the offensive line. I know we said early on that they were told internally that they had like 6 draftable players on the O-line eventually if they all hit. And, man, it looks like they're hitting pretty good. So if I'm Venables, I'm not letting Jackson Arnold beat me or like with his arm, or I'm daring him to do so. Like I'm not going to let Auburn run the football on me, and I'm not going to lose to Jackson Arnold's legs. So if he can beat me throwing the ball, which is very possible, right? Because they got some serious weapons on the outside there for the Tigers. That's what I think happens there. With Mateer, he does so much fun stuff, and he makes so many big time throws, man. But there is a lot of like stuff that he does that so far he has gotten away with that could lose a ball game for. Okay, like unnecessary jump passes, I would put in that category. They run this little mesh play with the deep crosser behind it, and he so far doesn't seem to notice that at all. And it just like I'm like, that guy, the ball needs to be out now. Like that play is open, and he runs around, he scrambles, and he finds a completion later on. But that's not really the design. And eventually, that could get him in trouble. He's still really good. Like I mean, quarterback playmaking wise, I don't think there's been anybody in the SEC who's been better. But like as far as sustainability, to Tom's point, there are some questions.
The man's a chaos agent. I love him.
I mean, he got away with it all year last year, right? So, and Oklahoma certainly knew what they were getting with him. It's not like a new offensive coordinator is going to unlock something potentially. Although maybe you hope some of this goes away with the second year in a row of OC Ben Arbuckle, who also came from Wazoo. I think Auburn's defensive line's key here. Their interior's been a little bit better than I thought it'd be. Falk is a total beast on the edge. Mm-hmm. That is where this game could be won or lost. Like if Keldrick Falk could beat Oklahoma by himself, right? If he just abuses these young tackles for Oklahoma, which is possible, then Auburn's got a real shot to win the game. If they neutralize him, I think it's OU.
Going back to what you were saying there, Danny, about like Auburn's passing attack, like we've talked about it. They have very good receivers, and PFF grades aren't the end all be all. Like, I disagree with some of them based on what I see and based on what they put up at certain games, but just using them as a guideline here. Auburn's passing offense score is 59.0, which among the Power 4 teams ranks 60th of 68 teams. Now, if you rank 60th of 68, despite having the talent you have at wide receiver, what does that tell you the problem likely is? So I agree with you, Bud. If I'm Brent Venables, and we just saw this 2 weeks ago, I'm going up against a team that I feel plays one-handed because of where they are right now. Like, Michigan played one-handed because they don't really trust in their receivers, and they were missing their tight end in that game. They had to try to run the ball to have any real success. So I tried to take that away and force the quarterback to beat me. They couldn't. Bryce Underwood really struggled. They're going to do the same thing here. It's going to be more difficult because of Auburn's receivers. But I think that when I look at this Oklahoma defense, like, it is very, 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 very good up front, and especially I think in the back. I think the secondary is very good. Cortland Guillory, I think, is one of the better corners that I've seen in the country so far. And I think he's probably going to find a whole lot of Cam Coleman in his life this weekend. And I think that he's capable of really kind of slowing him down. On the other side, going back to Mateer, like, this isn't the locks pod, but we can't take player props on the locks. John Mateer rushing overs looking a little appealing to me, because if you looked at Auburn's defense so far this year, they miss a lot of tackles, especially in the run game. And they have already allowed 136 scramble yards to quarterbacks, which ranks 131st nationally. So quarterbacks that have been able to get in the open field and move on, and when they have, Auburn has missed tackles doing so. I like Auburn's defensive line. The back end of that, the back seven, I'm not as sold on. So I think Mateer could scramble a lot if he's under pressure, or just because he's John Mateer and he decides, I want to go running for a little bit and maybe hit a linebacker, because that's just who John Mateer is. So, like, that's where I'm looking at. That's going to be really interesting to see if Auburn can hem him in and force him to be a pocket passer, because, as Bud was just going over, when he's a pocket passer, he misses a lot of things. He makes mistakes. He tries to take shots that aren't really there. So that's what my goal is if I'm Auburn defensively, but I just don't know if they are capable of doing it.
His rushing total on FanDuel is 52.5 right now.
I would take that.
I don't know. I mean, this got bet down a lot, but I think at open, under was a very attractive play. I mean, it opened 52.5.
Yeah. I mean, I do not disagree with the move, and I'm not scared.
I don't know if I hate it now, but like I definitely liked it a lot at 52.5.
Yeah.
How much is Oklahoma blitzing in this game? Like, constantly?
So they decided to blitz Underwood a lot.
Yeah.
Just on the idea they could cover those Michigan receivers, and maybe Rice wouldn't process it quick enough, which they were like 100% right on the first count and somewhat right on the second.
Mm-hmm. I just feel like they're very familiar with Jackson Arnold. They know what he struggles with, especially pre-snap. I think you are going to see a whole hell of a lot of blitzes from Oklahoma. Like, if this game goes over, I have a feeling it'll be because Oklahoma scored a touchdown on defense.
I mean, you can guarantee Venables is pulling up his catapult and clicking like filter by turnover in practice, filter quarterback quarterback Jackson Arnold, filter what coverage did we play here, how did we disguise it, and that's probably what you'll see. Like, they have all the practice film from last year. They know what stuff this guy struggles to read. Venables is probably like the master of disguise of our time. So
I think it is very interesting in comparison to, I mean, correct me if y'all saw this differently, but Dave Aranda said, oh my gosh, we cannot get beat by these wide receivers. These wide receivers are so good. We're going to do everything not to get beat by these wide receivers. Jackson Arnold eats them alive. It sounds like this is the opposite, which is the only thing Jackson Arnold can do to beat us is with his legs. So let's make sure that he doesn't do that and see if he can make throws to these very good wide receivers.
If the wind is high in this game, who does it favor?
Auburn.
I think so too.
Keep the ball.
Is there a forecast alert here? Was that?
Fighting Irish 595 in the chat says wind is supposedly pretty high.
Interesting.
I mean, it's Norman, Oklahoma.
It's
definitely leans towards the under even stronger.
Yeah.
If I as a meteorologist, amateur, as far as wind is concerned, it's Wednesday. Wait till Saturday.
Great call.
Yeah.
Looks like 8-mile-an-hour wind, according to one of the weather sites here. That's not really high enough for me to do something.
Come on. You get that through gate 6, you know?
Come on, chat. 8-mile-an-hour wind. We're Googling over 8 mile an hour.
Disgusting
Only
behavior. by the
windy
tailgate.
in Norman.